Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mystery Red Reads. I'm your host, Mystery Red, and this is my disclaimer. This beta reading concrete is at the author's request. This video is for learning purposes. Today we're looking at a piece of original fiction. I am looking at chapter 12 of The Lake of Haunted Memories by Ladybugs88, and we are actually going to dive right in here. If you want to see my other reads for Ladybug, you can check out the playlist. I have all of them in one place for you to find easily. Okay, I'm sorry. I started reading already. I gotta read out loud. Here we go. Chapter 12. Barb. With Carl gone to fetch the spare tire, Barb retrieved her cell phone and snapped her long-awaited selfie with the roots. She was about to take a second one when Anna stumbled into the shot and ruined it. Barb sighed. We should never have done that, Anna whispered. Shh. Barb turned her head, but Carl had already disappeared behind the pickup, and Ruth was probably still hiding inside the vehicle. Was she too lazy to come out and help them change the tire? The crash was an accident, wasn't it? You didn't do it on purpose, did you? Don't play dumb. Anna shoved her hands into the pockets of her fleece jacket. You know what I mean. We'll change the tire and it will be fine. You'll see. I hope so. Otherwise, I'll never forgive myself. Anna's eyes watered as she lowered her gaze. You're not going to cry on me, are you? Barb had her share of LSDS credentials, so what else did Anna want? Anna sniffled, her eyes still downcast. Aren't you feeling at least a tiny bit guilty? Guilty? Me? I don't know what you're talking about. In the pickup, Anna had kept throwing Barb the most obvious glances through the rearview mirror in front of Carl and Ruth. If that hadn't raised their suspicions, they must be stupider than Barb thought. Either way, she needed to put a stop to Anna's childish behavior. Pull yourself together, kiddo. Look at the trees. Haven't you noticed just how creepy they are? Barb waved Anna off. Local variations. Look at them. Barb already had. Besides, she wouldn't give Anna the satisfaction. Without human interference, the vegetation evolved in unusual ways. It's exactly what I expected when I suggested we come here. Imagine the results we'll get from comparing the data from here to those of the sparkling lake. Barb hoped the differences extended to the ecosystem and water quality. She couldn't wait to take the canoe out to collect samples and record measurements. If the results from Chevanet deviated so dramatically from Sparkling Lake as she expected, they would barely need statistics to prove a significant difference. What a fascinating study that would make. Have you noticed there are no bird sounds? Shh, lower your voice. Barb peeked over her shoulder again. Thankfully, Carl and Ruth remained out of sight, and Barb hoped out of earshot, too. Do you remember the man at Sparkling Lake who started coughing when you mentioned this lake? The one with the dog? What about him? Don't you think it's strange that he nearly choked when you said the lake's name? Barb rolled her eyes. He's an old paralytic who probably got multiple health issues. What did you expect? This is serious. We shouldn't have come here. We shouldn't have lied to them. Oh, you too, Brutus. Anna couldn't help her imbecility, but her flipping sides annoyed Barb to no end. Not to mention the guilt-tripping attempt. Tears spilled out of Anna's eyes. Poor Anna, willing to take part in such a clever setup, yet so unprepared to handle the consequences. An undertaking like that revealed the true grit of a person, and she had grown as much grit as an earthworm. Barb patted Anna on the back. Why don't you go smoke a cigarette? It will calm you down. Anna shot Barb an injured glance, her eyes rimmed with moisture. I should tell them. Don't you think they'd get angrier at you than at me? You drove them here. If you say a word, I'll deny I had anything to do with it. Soon we'll have the tire fixed and everything will be back to normal, which reminds me I should go help. Why don't you make yourself useful too? Barb turned and walked toward the pickup. She didn't care what Anna did. Smoke, help out, set herself on fire. It made no difference. They had made it to Lake Chevanet, and that was all that mattered. Okay, that one read really clean and really well. I enjoyed it. And I keep wanting more. It's like I keep wanting to, I'm waiting. Something's going to happen. So you've got me baited. Like I continue at the end to be like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And so I am still turning the pages. And on that note, this video is super short, but this chapter read really clean and really well. I don't think, I didn't want to stop while I was reading it for anything. Nothing jumped out at me. I think I probably tweaked a couple of words here or there, but they were tiny, like little joining words. And those were not I'm just pointing out what kind of words, if I did change anything. And it wasn't those specifically. I'm just saying it was very subtle. Ladybug might notice. She might not. I don't think I did it more than once or twice. But it rolled off the tongue pretty well. I liked the way it sounded, and I was enjoying the read, so I didn't want to stop so that we could have that experience of just hearing it read through, which is also nice. So, good job. I don't really have anything for this one. Yeah. Okay. But I will say, as a reader musing, I didn't like Barb when she was first introduced in the story. She was like, and she's kind of mean, and I remember saying that, and that was my first impression of her, and I stand by that. And she's definitely selfish. She wants what she wants, and she's even enjoying it. Like, she's taking her time with it. She's over here taking selfies, and too bad for you, and if you go and confess, I'm gonna leave you hanging. Just she's kind of heartless and selfish. We'll see how that, if she has any character growth as the story progresses, which would be nice to see and interesting. And if she makes it, because I don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, I guess hopefully Ladybug will have us continue reading, and we'll find out. So I'll see you guys next time on Mystery Red Reads.